We've talked a lot on this channel about how the investors in Truth Social are losing a lot of money. But it turns out that it's not just the investors are losing money, even the users are losing money. And I know what you're thinking, it's a free service. How are they losing money? Oh, no, they're not paying for it. Well, they're not paying for the service. They are paying for it though when they go on the service, because when you go on Truth Social, you're exposed to the sort of people and bots and scammers and grifters that use Truth Social. And there's even a case that can be made that scammers and grifters go to Truth Social because they know that the people there might be a little bit easy marks. And some of them have paid for that. So the FTC has received for a couple of years consumer complaints about Truth Social from its users. And they say that it's been flooded with scammers who are swindling users out of sometimes absolutely enormous amounts of money. One person reported to the FTC that they had lost 170K, saying they were initially scammed on a different site, but they met someone on Truth Social who claimed they could help get their money back. That turned out to be a scam as well. But more often, the victims are first contacted on Truth Social before being told to take the conversation somewhere else, like WhatsApp. And Truth Social does seem to be kind of like a target-rich environment. And so, look, they go there because they like Trump. Trump has been scamming and grifting people for literally decades. So you're already predisposed to be able to be grifted by being a part of MAGA. And they do tend to be older. The user base is older than some of these other places. And unfortunately, sucks, but older people generally are not necessarily as tech savvy, with significant exceptions. And so it's a lot of people that unfortunately find that they lose a lot of money. By the way, for full details of how these scams tend to work in practice, I would go watch the John Oliver episode on pig butchering scams. It's not as violent as it sounds. And it's a great look at how they get people, even people who maybe have their guard up for scams, to hand over massive amounts of money. But we do want to profile a couple of those who contacted the FTC. So one 72-year-old man, and this breaks my heart. He reported chatting with a quote, beautiful woman on the site who scammed him out of $21,000. His complaint ends with quote, I haven't told my wife about this blunder. She still doesn't know about it. So yeah, maybe a little bit less sympathy when you're chatting up a young hottie when you're doing it behind your wife's back, but $21,000 is a lot, and when she does find out about that, that's not going to end well. His complaint ends with, I read that. Another person in their 60s said that they lost $500,000 to scammers on Truth Social and seemed to think that there might be a way they could get their money back, telling the FTC, quote, after I pay this, they promise there will be no more fees and I will receive my assets. And I think this is the point where the family should step in and provide some sort of legal oversight over their funds, because I think, look, if you have been scammed out of $500,000 by one scammer, that's bad. If you've been scammed by scammers to the tune of $500,000, and now you think, oh, well, this helpful good Samaritan says they'll help me get the money. Look, I think you should not be responsible for your money anymore. And I say that with all the compassion in the world, because you're gonna lose more of it. You're just gonna lose more of it. Anyway, one person said, I was misled by a person who claimed to be someone he is not on Truth Social. They lost $110,000. There's just tons of these, just huge sums of money. Someone said, I was misled by a person who claimed to be someone he is not on Truth Social, who coached me to invest money into an invalid crypto wallet called QLedger.live based in Texas. Now the ledger will not release my funds except in small amounts every few days. Still do not know if I will be able to withdraw funds. You still don't know? I know. You're not gonna get that money back. And honestly, if you can't trust QLedger.live, who can you trust? Look, I'm joking around. I do feel bad for these people because, look, they're on Truth Social, so politically they probably believe some pretty bad things. They follow people who are white supremacists and fascists and all that. So, some discredit to them on that. But they're also they're not as savvy. They're struggling. Maybe they're desperate for some sort of financial breakthrough. Like typical investments, it's so difficult to make ends meet and all that. That oh, this looks really positive. It's crypto. I've heard things about that. Hell, Donald Trump says crypto is the wave of the future. And then unfortunately they get scammed. And I've literally never heard Trump talk about people being scammed on Truth Social. I don't think that we ever will. You'd think since he's the one that's drawing people there, he would feel Not necessarily personal responsibility, but maybe he could, again, like with the story we talked about earlier, at least like advise people to be cautious when people come to them on that platform offering them some get rich quick thing. But then again, does he really want to get people's guard up when every third message he sends out is another stupid thing people can buy that costs way too much money? Probably not. So anyway, True Social, it's a rough place. A lot of MAGA people are losing a bunch of money, whether they invested or even if they're just on there to follow Trump's truths. It can be a rough thing financially. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.